Hello guys, welcome to another episode. In this video, I want to share with you how screen multiplexers work. You might be thinking, but first let's get a definition out of the way. So what is a terminal multiplexer? Well, a terminal multiplexer is a software application that can be used to multiplex several separate pseudo-terminal based login sessions inside a terminal display. So basically what that means is you can run multiple terminal sessions within a single window. Now, you might be wondering, what is a terminal? So a terminal is basically a text-based interface that connects you to the computer. Now, this basically gives you access to the typing commands and execute those commands against the kernel. And now, kernel is like the soul of the computer, right? It's where the operating system gets all the magic. Now, basically, you can run programs, execute programs, open documents from a terminal, right? It's like a command prompt. So this all dates back to early computer days. And well, my assumption is most of you already here understands how a command prompt works, how terminals works, and you are already familiar. But the focus here is to teach you how Screen works. The Screen is a terminal multiplexer that allows you to run multiple terminal sessions within a single window. Now, this comes in very handy in cases where you're working and you need to run multiple processes in different sessions, but you only have one single window. A top tip is maybe you are hacking or doing something and you need multiple sessions to, execute programs and scripts. Basically, you could do that, okay? Anyways, you didn't hear that from me. So some of the things you could do with a Screen multiplexer is you could detach and reattach sessions. You can resume sessions. You can share sessions, and you can run commands in the background. Usually, I work with Screen multiplexers a lot in different types. And sometimes you run processes like Docker containers. You run those processes in several terminal sessions, because the truth is, if you're running I'm assuming most of you already has the basic knowledge to connect to a remote server from your terminal. Now, if you connect to a remote server and you run a program, which basically should be an application, a reverse proxy, or whatever it is, right? Now, this application will be exposed through a port to the public internet where it receives traffic. Now, what happens is when the PC when the process runs after a while, some things can affect it and the program, terminates. But when you run it in a different session, basically what happens is it doesn't get affected because it's running in a different session entirely, separated, right? So that's why it's a separate pseudo-terminal login based replication of the single window interface. So basically, the multiplexer we're going to be talking about is Screen. Screen comes bundled with most Linux distro. And well, if you're on Windows, it's simple. You can access this from WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, which is very, very neat in my own opinion. So if you're on a command prompt, basically just type in WSL, get access to your WSL, your WSL application, if they're ever going to come up. So when you have that, what you want to do is you want to start messing around with Screen. Okay, so first things first is we're going to type Screen H. This basically says show us most of the commands that Screen can actually do. So you can see that you have so many things. Now you could go by yourself and explore this and do whatever you want with it. But I'm going to be showing you a few things basically, right? So I'm going to be saying, for example, Screen S. So how you start a new session basically, right? How you start a new session basically is with a command Screen. Typing Screen basically starts a session and automatically assigns a random session or process ID to that particular terminal session. Now, this is the parent window, right? This is a single terminal window. Now we want to have multiple sessions inside this one terminal window. So what we can do here is we can say Screen and just that's it. Now this tells us all sort of it greets us with a welcome message, and then you just click enter, right? And then that's it. You're in another Screen session, right? It looks like nothing happened, but basically a lot happened. So let me see if I can run this htop, right? Now we are running this program, we're running this process in the new screen session that we already have. Now, the way to detach away from a screen, basically you want to jump back. It's just like pressing the back button in a browser window to the parent session. Is a combination of Control AD. Now, if you're on MacBook, it will be Command AD. Now we are back here. So this is how we know if we have sessions running. It's with a command screen -ls. ls means list screen, basically. So you can see we have a session with the ID 62.1 blah blah blah, name of your computer user, right? So that shows us one socket in basically this path right here. Now you can see here it says detached and the time when it was created and all that. So this session, we can connect back to it by typing screen and R. Now you see that this is entirely running absolutely separate from the parent screen here. So I do a combination of Control AD and then we're back to the parent screen. Now we can have as much screens as we want and we can do so much with them. Now this basically gives you the leverage to create more screens, list screens, share sessions, delete them and all of that. So the basic things that I wanted to show you was basically how to resume a session, how to create a session, and of course how to delete a session, which is what most people struggle with. So in order to delete a session, you need to type screen-x, right, which is basically signaling the server the session to quit, and the X and then S, which is basically the session ID. Well, in this case, we want to just copy this long string right here. We want to paste that and then quit. That's all you have to do. If you basically list now, you see there is nothing, right? The socket is gone. It's how you delete it. It's that simple, right? Now we're going to try this again one more time, but we're going to try this time with a session name. So let's say code literate, okay? That's what we have to do. Now this session basically have this, okay? HTOP, by the way, is a utility program that shows you the processes of your, just like a, how will I put it, say a process management interface. All right, now Control AD back here. Now we see if we do screen ls, yes, we have a session with an ID code literate. Now these are the basic commands. You could do so much more. You could look into the documentation, or you could basically just type screen H, and then anytime you wanted it to, you know, if you're feeling adventurous and you wanted to try something different, then you can always do that. Okay, so the commands are similar in both MacBook and Windows, right? Macintosh software and Windows software operating systems. Basically, the difference in the command is the control and command, right? Keys, basically. So you can see here it says R to resume a session, R to reattach if possible, start a new session, shell, select name, title, term. You could do all sort of things here, right? DMS, you want to start a session and basically run that particular process in the background. So you're signaling the shell, the session, that okay, run this and, you know, put it in the background. That's -D, which signals detached mode, right? Now, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do. You can monitor a screen session with screen M, right? You can monitor a screen session with, yeah, so, and you could do so much more, right? And I mean, there's a whole lot you can do here. You can also change default key settings and all of that. There is a I'm not entirely in the Linux space, but there is a screen RC file, right, that basically contains the yeah, I'm not in a, what is it called, a proper Linux environment. Otherwise you'd have seen that is the that's the root directory. But there is a screen RC file where you could customize the behavior of the screen utility. So anyways, if you have any questions, please feel free to place your comments and I'll be more than happy to leave a response to it. And I mean, there's not really much with it. It's just a very, very neat tool that you can use. Sometimes if you're learning DevOps, you're into site reliability management, or you're a site reliability engineer, SRE, or DevOps, or system ops, or system analyst, this kind of tools come in handy for you. So if you're starting out and you've been struggling with working with different multiple processes on a Linux server or something like that, basically this will come in handy. So maybe in a hackathon, a school project, or whatever. All right, guys, this is all for now. Thank you for watching. As usual, leave a like, subscribe, notify, turn on the notification bell, and share with your friends. I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye for now.